right, 6 o'clock. Let's call the meeting to order. Everybody's here. It's the first time we've had 7 people
Long time.
for a while. Yeah. So let's stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, school board oath of office.
Well, I sent it off, but in the past, as long as we have it on our agenda, and we will have each of you sign it once the meeting is over, probably next month, and we put that in your personnel file. It's basically a statement of code of ethics is what it is, that I'm bound to be a quality board member for the school district and so on and so forth. So that's what we've done in the past. If we just want to use that in practice, we can. As long as we have it on our agenda and you guys sign it later on, we are good.
Is that fine with you all? Okay, sounds good. All right, changes to the agenda. We've got one change. We're pulling off 9B. Hopefully that's a little premature that was on there, so pulling that off. Are there any other changes? I think everything is just reorganizational stuff. If not, is there a motion to approve that change?
So moved.
Thanks, Dan. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Kyle. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right. Now we need to approve the agenda. Someone like to make a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you, Dave. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Dan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right. There's no public input, is there? I haven't heard of anything. Okay.
Can I quickly just comment on that, just for our
Absolutely.
new membership?
Yep.
What we do in our district is the public can comment at any time during this public input time during your open school board meeting, your public meeting, but this is your meeting, but we do give them an opportunity. But we do ask, politely ask that the public reference the item prior to the meeting to me in an email or a phone call, so then I can at least let the board chair know what's up and coming. It's just a respectful thing to do and how we like to operate our
And we have a
district.
5-minute time limit, correct?
5-minute time limit. And we don't talk personnel items. The public cannot do that.
5-minute time limit per person?
But only one person can bring up the issue, right?
Yep, it's a
Like-
15-minute limit, but 5 minutes per person. Yep, and it's on your agenda actually in the small print, so the public knows this every time I print. So, but just so you're aware, I get it. I'll try to email you all ahead of time, but usually I get a hold of the board chair. And I don't know if there's ever been an issue. So,
Well, there hasn't been for quite a while, but if
Quite a while,
if there's controversial things going on, sometimes.
you're all gonna know. Anyway.
Sometimes we might hear about it, so. Okay, recognition and good things happening. Paraprofessional Recognition Week in the state of Minnesota is held in January. The school district is very thankful for our paraprofessionals and appreciate all they do to make our schools great. January is also Minnesota School Board Appreciation Month. Thank you for your service. At least we can appreciate ourselves, you know. So, that's good. Okay. Moving on to the meat of the things for tonight, the discussion and action items. So first we'll do the election of officers. At this time, I'll accept nominations for chair.
I nominate David Lumming.
Okay,
I'll second that. I'll third it.
thank you. Are there any other nominations for chair? Any other nominations for chair? Any other nominations for chair? If not, all those in favor of Dave Lunning as chair, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion carried. Thank you. Vice chair. Nominations for vice.
I'll nominate Dave Farlinger.
Okay,
I'll second it.
okay. Any other nominations for vice chair? Any other nominations for vice chair? Any other nominations for vice chair? If not, all those in favor of Dave Farlinger for vice chair, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Congratulations, Dave. Treasurer. Our treasurer was Deb, so currently we need somebody new. Any nominations for treasurer?
Is this something you want to consider as a board? Especially with the heavy newness of the board.
New people?
Yep. You can combine positions. Clerk and treasurer is the most common position to combine. We'd have to do a resolution in February for that, which is fine. You can nominate them tonight. We just have to, because it's a combined, you can do the person tonight, the same name on both these positions tonight, but we'll have a resolution in February to put them together, if you so choose. We can do that.
So would we need to have a motion tonight to put that together and then?
No, we'll just do this
Make it
how it
official?
is, and then in February we'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do the
Nominate
resolution
the
in
same,
February.
if you want to go that way.
If you want to go that way, you can always do that, but it's
Nominate
very
the same
common.
person for both positions, is that
Right.
what you're saying?
Right, yeah, you always can do that.
All right, what do you think?
Do we have good documentation, calling out the expectations of the treasurer to make it easier for a new member?
I would say, kind of, when you did it for that year, we have that packet, I'm sorry, I can't see it, that packet, and then we meet with the treasurer, the Zoom meetings, we do that.
Yep.
And then we try to, I would say once every couple months, meet with the treasurer just to update them on kind of the financial health of the district. We don't get too deep because our auditor does that, our truth and taxation does that, and then once we get late this spring, you guys will be kind of neck deep in the budgeting process. So there's some, and then MSBA, your guiding institution, the School Board Association, offers tons of professional development too. So, great question.
A lot of those treasurer duties are kind of done by the business manager.
Right.
Anyway, yeah.
And it might be a good opportunity for somebody to kind of be with the business manager and get more familiar with what happens on the school board.
Absolutely.
It's something I might be interested in trying out. I mean, I haven't done one of these yet. And I'm more comfortable now than I've been in. since
You're
I
pretty
was in your
easy to work
chairs.
with.
I'll make a motion.
Nominate Kyle? Okay,
I'll second.
okay. Any other nominations for treasurer? Are there any other nominations for treasurer? Any other nominations for treasurer? If not, all those in favor of Kyle Stern as treasurer, please say aye.
Okay.
Opposed? Congratulations, Kyle. Nominations for clerk. Angie is currently our clerk.
You need to see the responsibilities for
Sure. With the clerk and Angie, maybe Angie, why don't you take the lead on this?
First, you're gonna do all the minutes for.
every meeting?
There's a lot of, signing the resolutions and all of the paperwork that we do, helping with election things, I don't know, what
That's a
else,
big
what
one.
are some,
You
I'd say
put to-
just those
Put together that
documents.
handbook for the
Oh, yes.
members.
yes.
Yep.
That's kind of a big deal.
That was a big one.
Yeah. It doesn't matter to me, it's all pretty easy now.
I'll nominate Angie for clerk.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Any other nominations for clerk? Any other nominations for clerk? Any other nominations for clerk? If not, all those in favor of Angie Olson as clerk, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Congratulations. All right, item number 10, we need to set our meeting date each month, our monthly meeting date, which has been the third Tuesday of the month at 6 o'clock. I would assume we'd just keep that the same. If we have to make adjustments along the way, we always do.
I motion that we do second, or what do we do, third
Third
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Third Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Okay, is there a second to that?
I'll second that.
Okay, thanks Nicole. All those in favor of that, say aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion carried. The school district legal counsel, which has been Adams, Ritzy, and Sween out of Austin. We've used them for several years. And them designated the board chair and the superintendent as the contact for that. Someone like to make a motion approving Adams, Ritzy, and Sween. Unless you have
I'll make a motion.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Dan. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Thanks, Dave. All those in favor say aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion carried. I should say to the new members too, if I get in too big of a hurry, I can tend to do that. I've done this for a while. Just stop me and say, you got a question or whatever, okay? The school district depository, which has been the First State Bank of Minnesota of LeRoy. And we need to make a motion to approve that as well.
So move.
Thanks, Angie. Is there a second?
second.
Thanks, Kyle. All those in favor say aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion carried.
Kyle, I think you'll have to, once the meeting minutes are finalized, you'll have to go do the signature card there too.
okay.
Yeah, so they need some tonight too.
Okay. Committee appointments. Community Ed.
So this is kind of a free-for-all, guys. If you wanna be on one, just say what you wanna be on. We just can't have more than,
I wanna be on community ed.
Okay, Nicole? Is it just one person that we've had
Just
on
one.
that?
just one, but.
Very good. Way to stand up and volunteer, all right.
That's sometimes a hard one, so.
Meet and confer, which is meeting with the teachers and just having a discussion with them.
Yeah.
It's-
No personnel talk, but
Nope.
it's,
It's just
I don't know,
kind of an open line of communication, try to,
be as transparent as
yeah,
possible with
we've
all
tried
there.
to, yeah, we've tried to make some like, just make sure everybody's on the same page, some morale things, like what can we do to make them feel appreciated, things like that. Just, it's really very informal. And we meet, what'd you say, Kyle, a few times, what, quarterly maybe?
Yeah.
Quarterly is what we've kind of shot for, is that right?
I think so, maybe just 3 times.
Yeah, I wanna
Not
say it's
even that
only,
much.
I was gonna say it might only be 3 times and we skip summer,
Yeah,
so, not a huge commitment. I'll stay on if nobody else.
Okay,
Oh,
Yeah, I have interest in that.
okay,
Yes.
okay, Jess,
and me too.
yeah, I'll step off of that one.
okay. And Nicole, you said you were gonna
Yes.
do that? Okay. MSBA liaison, it's been Dave Farner.
I can stay in that.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Just, keeps the board informed of anything with the Minnesota State School Board. If there's training available, just bring it up in the meeting where we can find that.
And once your school emails are up, you'll get all those emails on here.
Just try to bring awareness to what's going on up with that.
Okay, State High School League, I guess I'd like to continue to do that.
I'd jump on that one with you, Dave, if you can.
No problem, I guess it just.
I just need one signature is all I
Okay.
need, so,
Not a
yep.
whole- Not a whole lot to
Alright.
do with that, I guess.
And what is that?
Well,
Sorry.
as an example, we entered a co-op with Lyle Vicelli this year, and so I was part of that discussion and meetings as well. Maybe a part of it was because I was the board chair too, but,
There's not a big responsibility
No.
as far as interacting with the high school league, if that's what you're asking.
yeah, generally that happens with the AD and stuff like that, so. Just kind of the board contact with that kind of stuff if needed.
I think once a year, do you sign the paper that we agree to
Be
the
part of it?
yeah.
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 Another kind of example, when we decided to co-op with Lyle, Dave being the Minnesota State High School League rep, he's our chair also, but I called him to be our Minnesota State High School League rep during that time. So he could be part of meetings and all of that, so it works out pretty good that way.
Scholarship committee. So Angie was on that? and-
I need to stay. I'm the chair. As a community member, I'm a chair. I'm not chair in my role as a board member. But because I'm a board member, we can only have one other person on this because it can't be an open meeting because we discuss grades, students. So one more person can do this.
I'd like to be on that.
Okay. Okay, certified negotiations. Currently, it's been myself, Dave, and a third person is needed for that. That's negotiating contracts for the teachers. It's great fun.
It's good times.
So,
I'd volunteer for that one. Can I be on that one?
You can, yes.
you could be on that one. You just
So-
would be able to be on the other one.
Non-certified,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I will continue to stay on, I guess. and
I
do
will
that.
too.
Thanks, you guys.
And Kyle. Okay, non-certified negotiations, so that's negotiating with the union that involves bus drivers and cooks and secretaries. Anybody that's not a teacher,
Coaches,
basically.
paras.
So Angie has been on that. And the other one was, yeah,
Deb and Amanda. So we had three. We went down to two with Amanda. Now we're down to just, and we're still in the middle of negotiations, so.
so Angie needs to
You're
stay
on,
on.
man.
So-
No matter what.
Okay,
So ideally, two more people on there?
Ideally, I mean, we can do two, but I'd prefer three,
Mhm.
you know.
That way, if someone's not there, we still
It's,
can
then
try
you
to
always
two
have that.
rather than.
Yeah.
And keep in mind with negotiations, just so the new people know, the administrative team is there, so the
Yes.
business manager and I are always at the negotiations table with the board, so.
With me being a volunteer, is that a conflict of interest?
No,
Yeah.
doesn't
No,
matter.
There's
Co-
not,
coaches-
coaches are under the.
coaches
certificate.
are on- teachers.
Coaches are under the
But you're a
other contract.
volunteer, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
If we need somebody, I
Can Kyle be on the certified if the C schedule is?
I know there was one of them I couldn't.
Yeah.
Under the.
Because C
under
schedule
the
C,
C
yeah,
schedule.
that's
Ooh.
true.
The C schedule is under the.
I forgot Kyle.
Good point.
I don't think so.
Kyle, we better not do that.
I can do both if you prefer some continuity there, but if a new person wants it, that's okay too.
But I can do the non-certified.
How about, I think to be safe, Ange, why don't you take certified? Dan, you said you might want something non-certified would be great. The reason being, Kyle, just with the SMET contract
Yeah.
and Crystal.
Oh, yeah.
But you're in negotiations, so you can.
So I'm staying on, but
Right,
we,
you're staying
yep,
on.
yeah,
For
I'll
both.
stay
You're
on,
gonna
I'll
do-
just do.
Yeah, and I'll be
both.
sending you stuff soon
Okay.
about stuff.
Right.
But Does that make sense, Kyle?
And then
Not to
Yeah.
push you around
we need
here,
one
but I
more
wanna.
non-certified.
Yeah, cause she's not on SMAC, she's on
So,
ours.
Yeah.
so where are we
That would be
then?
the
We need one more,
non-certified.
so
Yeah.
certified will be you two and me,
Okay, so Angie on certified?
Dave, Angie. Non-certified right now is Angie, Dan, we need a third.
A third would be
Or
perfect.
Candy?
And a Candy.
Candy Kyle.
I would be interested.
You do that?
Thanks,
Okay,
Jess.
Jess.
That's great.
Okay. SMEC board, board member rep.
So I'll stay. I do know they like continuity and they've already asked if the board members are staying, but if does somebody have a real interest in that? I mean, they are coming next month to our meeting to discuss SMEC.
Do you guys know what SMEC is? It's our special education consortium. They do everything for us in terms of special education. In a
Okay.
nutshell.
Yeah.
So Angie,
I'll
Stay
stay,
on that?
yeah.
okay. District policy review. So Angie was on that. You're kind of getting your name on a lot of things.
That's okay. Once you're on, it's not so bad, cause you get a, you know.
I'd be interested in
You'd be interested in that? Okay. Yes. And Angie, you want to
Sure.
stay on that? Okay. Building and grounds and safety, myself and Kyle. I'd be glad to continue with that, I guess.
Yeah, I'd stay there as well.
We're doing a lot of projects, it would be good if you guys.
Yeah, it's good for continuity.
Mower County Collaborative. We talked about that a little bit before the meeting. Is that
Deb,
really necessary even?
I mean, I could probably take that, I don't know, I don't remember,
Okay.
as far as the county supervisor.
So I'm not sure,
Baptized by fire, Dad.
I'm not sure who that involves. If it's, I don't know that it's the county supervisors or not.
School districts.
Yeah.
It's more,
I don't know, I wasn't on
A little bit of
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
I just had this to
So-
pass on to whoever was.
All right, so that'd be Dan,
yeah.
okay? The world's best workforce.
I'd step away from that if somebody else
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
it.
It's a pretty tough one.
Haven't been very
It's a
good
pretty
at
tough one.
making it, or any of those. Anybody want to, Kyle said he'd like to step off of that.
I could step on for him.
Okay, Dave and Dave, okay? Sounds like quite a team there.
Yeah.
It'll be one meeting, Dave.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
It's one meeting.
One meeting.
Okay, so for review, community ed was Nicole. Meet and confer, Angie, Kyle, right?
Nope,
Oh,
just Nicole, Angie, I believe.
Just
right?
Nicole, Angie. Kyle's on for that, okay? MSBA, Dave Farlinger, State High School League, myself. Scholarship Committee, Angie and Dan. Certified Negotiations, myself, Dave and Angie. Non-certified negotiations, Angie, Dan, Jess, is that right, Angie?
That's what I have, yep.
Okay. SMEC Board Rep, Angie, didn't know there. District Policy Review, that'd be Jess and Angie. Angie, are you sure you wanna do all that?
It's really not much. It's only a lot
Just-
now because of the negotiation.
Just saying, that's,
You're a lot less, you're less.
Yeah.
I have the flexibility to do it, and I know not all of you do, so.
okay, all right, just making sure. Building and Grounds, myself and Kyle. Howard County Collaborative is Dan. World's Best Workforce is the Dave and Dave team. Is there anything else that we're missing? Okay, everybody okay with all that? Okay. I would say we should have a motion approving those committee appointments.
I'll motion to approve all those committees.
Okay, thanks Angie, is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks Nicole. If there's no other discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, now we need to set our school board compensation. So currently, it's $35 per regular board meeting. And the chair has an additional stipend of $400. Anybody have any thoughts on that? I guess my thinking was, I just would have the question, would we want to include the committee meetings as well?
I had a former board member suggest that we offer something for committee meetings as an incentive for people to want to, but that might have been something we wanted to discuss before we did committee assignments. So,
Committee meetings take up people's time too. Sometimes away from work and stuff too, so.
And it doesn't have to be set at 35, it could be lower.
I do know, I think we looked at it last year maybe, a lot of the other neighboring districts do committees. They also get so far in to say is if this meeting were to last over 2 hours, you get double your pay. If you, like things like that, but trust me, that hasn't happened in a really long time.
We've never really done it for the pay, just so you know.
No, exactly, it's not for the pay.
So-
So, but a lot of the neighboring districts do some additional things that we don't do. Again, we've done it this way and everybody's been fine with it, but.
I guess my thinking is if you guys would want to include the committee meetings, that we should just keep it the same dollar amount. Yeah, you know, it just makes life easier for Sharon especially.
Yeah.
So, and it's not gonna break the school district.
No.
Would anybody like to make a motion to that effect? Or have any other thoughts on the idea, or?
With this being my first meeting, I prefer not to yet, and maybe next year look at it again. But, because I really don't know how terribly involved it is as far as these committee meetings, you know, so it's hard to vote on something that you don't know enough about.
Anybody else have any thoughts? Okay, I need a motion one way or the other.
I'll make a motion to keep the compensation at $35 per meeting with the idea to revisit pay for committee meetings maybe another time.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay, thanks Dave. Is there any other discussion on the matter? If not, all those in favor say aye.
But
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. All right, our official district newspaper has been the Mower County Independent. And as long as I've been on the board, it's been that, so. Would someone like to make a motion approving the Mower County Independent as our official district newspaper, excuse me?
so moved.
Thanks Kyle, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thanks Nicole. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
I'll abstain, yeah.
Sorry, Dan, I should have had that on there for you.
Yep.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And Dan abstains.
Yes.
Motion
And
carried.
we did find statute that said that's not a conflict of interest, so just so you know, it was asked, I found the statute where it.
Okay,
So.
sounds good. Now, we don't have a lot of choices with local newspapers.
That's right.
Okay.
We like ours.
All right, so the discussion of school board member and district documents, so the school board handbook and code of ethics.
Tons of
Want
stuff.
to take that on? Jen?
Oh, sure. You guys received my email last week that contained tons of documents. Take your time reading through them. We surely are not gonna quiz you tonight. We might February, no, not quiz you tonight, or February. But these are nice documents for you to have just kind of at your beck and call. And keep in mind too, each of the members sitting here, especially our veteran members, can answer probably any question you might have. I can answer questions also, so please call us. We cannot stress that enough. Email, call, text, doesn't matter. All of us are really good at getting back to our membership for sure. But in that email I sent, just so the community is aware too, are documents pertaining to be a quality and successful board member here at ISD 499. Things that were included in that email were our strategic plan that we have worked on, our chain of command, school year meeting dates for the remainder of the year. We'll of course relook at those in July. The guide to school board meeting roles and responsibilities, parliamentary procedure things, all of that. But I really, really stress you should take some time to read all these. And I'd say probably the biggest document that you received was the LeRoy-Ostrander School Board Handbook. And I really need to give a lot of compliments to board member Olson. Her and I met over Christmas via computer, basically, to work on this, but she did the load of this work. But this is a great document, and it's moving. It'll constantly change, and we'll be updating it as we go. But it has a lot of good supportive strategies in here for being a board member who wants to serve your learning community. That's why you're here, to serve our students specifically. But like I said, I can't stress enough, please communicate. We will do our very best to communicate to all of you many of these things, but also committee things and facility items, whatever it may be. But the expectation is that we want our new membership to communicate to us too. It has to be both ways. We all have to learn and listen to each other. But a couple maybe, probably the biggest documents of all of these that you received would probably be the chain of command. You'll be approached a lot as new members especially, but of course, a good reminder to our old membership too, that there is a chain of command that we adopted a few years back. When there is a question out in the community on basically where to send that question to. If it's a discussion about, what's going on in a classroom, we would say, well, go talk to the teacher. Don't come to me as a school board member, or always go to Aaron and Jen. We are always a safety net for you guys, no matter what. No matter what it is, that's a great answer to give. And then we could always disperse where it should go. So that's a really quality document that you wanna be part of. The other one is too, and many of you know this, of being on a public board, the Code of Ethics. We're all bound by confidentiality. We're bound by strict rules when it comes to parliamentary procedure and determinations of policies and rules and laws that we are abiding to. And you also as board members have the same thing. Similar to the staff, I send off emails to our school board every other week that have bulleted points of pretty significant items. As a matter of fact, this Friday, Tina is our teacher sitting here. I'm going to use her as an example. She will get an email from me about kind of the happenings within the district. Just to keep communication flowing. You all will receive that too, but again, coming from me, it's a confidential document, cannot be shared with anybody else. And most things, if it's extremely confidential, I let you know. I'll probably call you, I'll text you, or it'll say in big, bold, highlighted letters, very confidential, please do not discuss or whatever. But Code of Ethics, please take some lengthy time to look at that. Aaron and I are bound by that. Our teachers are bound by that. We all have those, and we are very strict with those, and all of you have done a great job. Our veterans have done a great job with things like that. What else am I missing?
You've covered it pretty well, I think.
Yeah, but we
Maybe
want
we
you
have
guys to
any
have some
questions?
time to think about these things too. I mean, don't think you have to know it all tonight. You won't.
You won't.
You won't.
I
So-
did not receive that email because I had the updated email address I gave you, so I'll give it to you again. I don't know what's going on.
Ooh, I wonder if, because I use that email on a secondary email, it didn't go through. Okay,
I've been checking.
we will get that to you. We'll try it again. Okay. So yes, but there's a ton of things. Take your time to look at, but call with questions. We'll walk you through it. And as Dave Farlinger mentioned earlier too, MSBA is a nice source of information for you before reaching out to them, we do always ask you to reach out to your chairman. Typically, our chairman knows, the happenings and what to do. They've been trained in the MSBA ways of how to do things. So we do ask you, that's kind of your hierarchy. Go to your chair or me usually.
And so they do have to sign up for phase 1 and 2.
Yes, so that's the other thing. I know
looking right
that
now.
Angie sent that out. So by law, there is statute that school board members need to attend these virtual meetings. It's basically the how-tos of exactly what we're talking about tonight. How to be a purposeful and quality board member serving your school district in the most appropriate, ethical, and fiscally responsible way, frankly. They can be long, and they're at night, and dry sometimes, but
They discuss our roles as a board
Yes,
member.
they do a
It's-
nice
It's
job.
not like, we aren't gonna go into the classroom and tell Tina what she needs to do in the classroom.
Right.
That's not our role. That's their role.
yeah. And you guys will get every meeting, you're gonna see how your roles interact with our district and how important you are. You are one of the most important cogs we have. I need you. I'm probably the most, probably the only personnel that needs you the most. You are my guiding kind of light and institution to make sure we are steering the ship in the right direction. But you will be hearing from me often, and I hear it sometimes from our membership. Slow down the communications, Jen, enough is enough, especially from this guy right
She
here.
communicates more than anybody I've ever seen.
So, anyway, I probably won't stop doing that, but I expect you guys to please ask questions, make comments. But yes, you'll receive tons of emails from me, tons. If I just feel like, I gotta send something off to you guys, I'm just not comfortable with what's going on, I want some feedback, I'll be communicating with you. You don't have to worry about that. But again, and I can speak for Erin too, we expect you to come and talk to us too. You saw tonight when you walked into the office, we have board members coming in all the time, just talking. We can't make decisions, without all of you sitting here, but we sure like to talk. So, solve all the world's problems in our offices, every day,
Yeah.
every day. So,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, very good. Anybody got any questions or any of that, on any of that so far? Okay. All right, consent agenda. That's about the shortest consent agenda I've ever seen. So we need to approve the December 17th Truth and Taxation meeting minutes and the December 17th regular meeting minutes. So we would have gotten those emailed to us in our packet,
Yes.
except for Nicole, she probably hasn't seen those. Are there any questions on any of those minutes or corrections or additions? If not, could I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you, Dave. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Angie. All those in favor say aye.
Right.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Looks like the calendar of events. January 24th is the staff development, no school. February 17th, President's Day, no school. March 17th, staff development again, no school. And March 28th, staff development, no school. And we've got board meetings in there
We do.
somewhere.
I was just gonna.
Yep, I didn't put them in there in case there are any changes with that agenda item.
So the next meeting is, do you have that pulled up? Angie?
February
18th.
18th.
Next policy would likely be February 11th.
Yep. A week before.
And then we tentatively scheduled a meet and confer way back when. Do you remember, Kyle? Like September maybe? We scheduled it for January 15th. So do we wanna stick with meet and confer? Do we wanna?
15th is.
And I'll email all these out to you
Yeah.
guys, so don't worry. I'll get them to you in my weekly emails.
Yeah, we need to do that. We need to schedule a negotiation meeting with
Admin.
admin, Sharon and stuff, so, yep.
And there is you'll reach out for the non-certified event we are coming up.
Yep, I'll let you know that too.
Okay, well, you guys, committee members, can kind of work out any details if you need to change something, like we can confer or whatever. Okay, so our next board meeting would be the 18th of February. Is there any conflicts that night that anybody knows about? So we can look ahead.
Right now, there is no basketball game. I think we're hitting the end of the season about there.
Would that be a
I
playoff
think,
potential?
I was, stalking the high school league page, and it looks like for girls at least, in ours, it looks like the 20th would be the first day.
Okay. And then boys would
Boys be a week
Boys
after
be
that.
after.
So I think we're good still.
Okay. So the next board meeting is on the 18th of February at 6 o'clock. Okay. One last thing I have a thank you note to read here to the LO School Board. Thank you so much for the beautiful plant. It was perfect, from Jen and family. So it's the least we could do, Jen.
For the new members, my dad just recently passed away, so.
Sorry. Is there anything else that we need to bring up tonight? Anybody's got? Okay, if not, I would accept the motion to adjourn the meeting. Thanks, Dan. Is there a second?
Second.
Kyle? Thank you, Kyle. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting's adjourned.
6:41.